What do you think of when I say the word medieval? Jesters, jousting, kings or castles? What do I think about? I think about combat, sieges, battlefields, gruesome fights, and yes, I do think about those laterally mentioned, but the battles really stand out to me. Warhorse Studios have certainly done their research for this one. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stalli111. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Talk. Today, as you could probably guess, I will be looking into the combat system. But before I do, I'd like to mention that more of the combat system may be revealed shortly, so I may have another video on the combat system in addition to this one later on. Some members of the Warhorse team have gone out and spoken to masters of fencing and sword fighting, learning from their experiences, but that was not enough. It wasn't quite the right feel for them. They then went to speak with medieval battle reenactors to talk about their strategies on the field, and were finally shown some of them in action when they went to see a live medieval battle reenactment. Through motion capture and camera placement, they used professionals to act out sword fights to see if the combat system they developed from their gathered info would work in a first person view. The final result works perfectly. They used thorough motion capture later along the line to make the animations more precise and feel like the player is actually fighting. Although not all of the combat system features are implemented and finished, it is starting to look very good, and very much like a real sword fight. In Kingdom Come sword fights, there will be 3 different types of attacks: a stab, a slash, and a special action that may vary on the situation. It can range from a kick to a powerful bash with your sword. I can see the special being very good for countering attacks, or even knocking back your foes, giving you more time to think. There are 8 different parts of the body that you can hit and damage, meaning there are 16 overall possible simple attacks you can produce in a fight with an enemy. There is a block button, which I am a little skeptical about. If you hold it down, it will block every attack, wherever it comes from, which does take away slightly from the immersion and skill. However, there is going to be a hardcore mode that might have a reduced aid in combat. It's not confirmed though. I'll talk about that mode in another video. There is a system in place in which you can trick your enemy by starting your attack on one side but changing the full swing to the other. It will require quick thinking to pull off, but when in need of an escape, it could prove useful. So, you've been fighting for quite a while now, and this game is somewhat realistic, so your character will be exhausted. The stamina system is very important when in combat. You will need to make sure you keep an eye on the stamina bar at all times, but also keep your enemy stamina draining, especially when fighting full armoured foes. It will be difficult to damage them. You will have to battle with their stamina, which when drained will have them a lot slower than you, allowing you the time to figure out their weak point and then strike it, killing them much faster. In combat, as I mentioned in a previous video, each weapon will have a different purpose, and will be easier fighting against enemies with specific armours. I will talk about all the weapons within Kingdom Come Deliverance in another video once they are all revealed, which hopefully will be around E3 time, so you've not got that big a wait. The game's combat will act more as a duel, not like what you're used to in other RPGs such as Skyrim or The Witcher. If you end up attacking a large group of enemies, you'll most likely die or be forced to run unless you have a few allies at your back. You will still be able to take part in tactical decisions for battles, or even, if you are a fairly stealthy character, you could sneak into a castle and open the gates for your allied soldiers to charge in at night. I mean, it is an RPG, so some of these skills have to come in handy at some point. So that was the combat system. Some more features may be added later on, as I mentioned, so stay tuned for that. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Stalli111, and make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you've not done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace off.